Hello everyone, I'm Najee and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do another topic video and this one is going to be on rejection. Dun, dun, dun. I just did my own sound effect because I feel like a sound effect went there. Yeah, this one's going to be on rejection. If you guys couldn't tell by the title, I wanted to bring up this topic because it is important, especially in our society. My favorite phrase, especially in our society. Rejection is such a hot topic because there's so many forms of it. There's so many ways people feel rejected. And I think it's going to be important to talk about today because I want to talk about how rejection plays a big role in our relationship with God. Yeah, it does. If you guys haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below if you guys love my channel. And then if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and also share it with someone if you haven't already. Let's get into the video. Today, like I said, I wanted to talk about rejection and how that plays a part in our relationship with God. Now, you may be saying, Najee, how in the world does rejection, you know, God is the God of love, how does this play a part in rejection? If you guys haven't already seen my testimony video, I'm going to link it above. In that video, I talked a little bit about how I dealt with a form of rejection. Rejection comes in so many different ways, and we can go on and on about how rejection affects our everyday life. But in that video, my testimony video, I talked about a little bit about how rejection was in my life when I was younger and, you know, in all the ways it affected me. Like I said, I'll link it if you guys want to go watch it. But I want to talk about how that rejection kind of crept into my relationship with God. Like, I know that sounds insane because you feel like, okay, God is God. The relationship you have with God is so different with humans. That is so true. But our human perspective is so it's like we can't get out of our human perspective almost when it comes to our relationship with God. It's like we bring on all that luggage and all that baggage that we have from our human relationships. We tend to bring that in our relationship with God, especially when we first start out. And this is definitely coming from someone who's very newly experienced in my relationship with God. I mean, I've only been saved for about 3 years and I'm still learning and I'm still growing. I mean, as should everyone. You should constantly be seeking God. You should constantly be going deeper with Him. You should be learning new things about Him all the time. And so that's, you know, where I'm at. And like the rejection that I dealt with when I was younger, it's like, and growing up, started creeping into my relationship with God. And what I mean by that is I started feeling like I had to work for His love. I felt like I had to do something for God to love me, you know. How could it be that easy, you know? When I dealt with rejection in the real world, people who feel rejected oftentimes feel like they have to do something to be approved by people. They feel like they have to work at something or earn something, and that people's love is something that you should earn. That's how rejection is for people who deal with it. If you guys know, you know. And so that's how I brought it into my relationship with God. I felt like, oh, well, okay, well, I have to pray at a certain time, and if I don't pray at a certain time, then oh my gosh, what if He's upset with me? And then, oh, I have to do this and I have to do that, and I don't want God to reject me. I mean, clearly I wasn't saying those exact words of like, I don't want God to reject me, but that's what I was acting out. I was acting as if I felt as though if I didn't do something right, if I didn't do the way I was supposed to do it, and if I didn't, God was not going to love me anymore. That's how I felt, and that's how rejection in my real life crept into my relationship with God. I mean, we can try as much as we can, but we are our truest selves when we are with God. And so the way you are with your relationships with people is the way you're going to be with God. If you treat people any kind of way and you only talk to people whenever you want something, that's how you're going to be with God. But if you're loving to people and you truly desire strong relationships with people, that's how you're going to be with God. And so I always say that our human relationships reflect our relationships with God. You know, in the word, He says that Jesus says, Lord, let them be one, just as me and you are one. So God calls us to have these amazing relationships with people, you know, in the body of Christ, and have these relationships in our lives. And that is a reflection of our relationship with God. And so, you know, you could say you love God and you do this, but if you don't love, you know, your brother or sister, you know, God, he doesn't appreciate that. Dealing with people, that kind of spilled over into my relationship with God inevitably, you know. So if I felt rejected by people, then I constantly would bring in this rejection in my relationship with God. And I'm not perfect. We're still working on it. Me and God, we're still going through we're still trying, you know. He's pruning me, he's teaching me. But I want people to really realize that that rejection that you feel in your life can really affect your relationship with God. I mean, you can feel like you're not worthy of his love. You can feel like you have to do the most, and you have to do this and you have to do that just for God to love you. And that's simply not true. I mean, if you've given your life to Christ, and if you're living a life that is holy and righteous by his word, and you've confessed, and you have to, you know, allow God to renew your mind, because you can bring in all this baggage from the world and all the baggage from your life. You can bring that all into your relationship with God, and then your relationship won't be as fruitful as you want it to be. I mean, God is so loving. He's so good. He's so amazing. I mean, he's your comforter. He's your protector. He's your friend, right? And if you're bringing in all this baggage, allow him to deal with that. Allow him to help you get through that baggage. Allow him to just let him strip off all that dead weight, you know. Throw off all that weight that so easily besets you. Come on, like, we gotta run this race. We gotta go with God. We gotta allow ourselves to fully commit to God. And what does that mean? We have to throw off that spirit of rejection. We have to throw off the fear of rejection. We have to know that our God is not gonna reject us. Why? Because he loves us, and we are his children, and he's called us, and we want this relationship with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're in that place right now where you've given your life to him and you're ready to go, you're ready to rock and roll, but it just seems like you just feel like you're not connected with him the way that you want to, and you feel like it's just like this wall sometimes, and you, trust me, listen, that's normal. Sometimes we just feel like we're being rejected by him because of the way we've lived our life in the past. But I want to tell you that God is so loving. He's so loving. He's so patient with us, and he takes his time with you. If you feel like you've dealt with rejection, and you feel like the world has rejected you, and you've been rejected so many times by people, guess what? My God will never reject you, because he loves you. He loves you. And so if you're wanting that relationship with God, and you're truly seeking that relationship with God, and you're feeling like, what do I have to do? Like, what do I have to do to have this relationship? Do I have to do this? Do I have to do that? Listen, God calls us to live a holy and righteous life. He calls us to be in constant communion with him. He wants us to run to him when we're weak. He wants us to go to him when we're joyous. He wants us to run to him for everything. He wants us to be with him. And so what you have to do is you have to ask God, God, please take this fear of rejection off of me so I can fully accept your love. Take this fear of rejection off of me so that me and your relationship can go deeper, can go further, can go farther than I ever even imagined. Because it's the fear of rejection that holds you back for truly experiencing the joy of God. Because imagine if you're constantly worried about if you're good enough for God. Oh my gosh. Imagine worrying am I truly good enough for him? Have I done enough for him? I mean, we all have these thoughts, if we're being honest. We all feel like, am I doing enough for God? Am I doing enough? Am I good enough? Am I worthy? Am I worth, like, listen, you have to calm down. You have to calm down, and you have to see that it's rejection that is trying to make you feel like you're not good enough. You're not worthy enough. You need to do this for God. You're not doing enough for God. He'll love you if you do this. He'll love you if you do that. If you go on a 10-day fast, he'll love you more. If you pray a little bit harder, he'll listen. You're a child of God. Enjoy that. Allow him to love you. Allow him to wrap his arms around you. Allow him to strip off that dead weight of rejection, okay? All it does is to come to kill, steal, and destroy. It takes away your joy. That's what rejection does. It takes away your joy. It makes you constantly confused. Does God love me? Am I doing enough for him? Listen, no, we are not worthy. None of us are worthy for the glory of God. We're not worthy. We're just not. But God loved us so much that he sent his son to die for us so that we are able to accept his love. So what am I trying to say? Jesus already did the work for you. He did that. He took care of all that sin, all that iniquity. He took that on the cross. So what am I saying? Accept God's love. Accept it. I know it's easier said than done, but just accept it. Tell God right now, God, please remove this rejection off of me. Me feeling like I constantly have to work at something just to prove that I'm worthy. Rejection only causes you to not move forward in your walk with Christ. Rejection only causes you to compare yourself and to feel like you're not doing enough. Listen, enjoy God's love, enjoy his peace. Allow him to come into your life and surround you, and tell that spirit of rejection and that fear of rejection to leave, because it has no place here. No place. So I hope this video was some way encouraging to you. I hope that through this you're able to connect with God a little bit more. I hope that you saw something in this video and you're like, you know what, maybe that is rejection that I'm feeling from the world, and so I bring it into my relationship with God. I'm gonna get over that. I'm gonna conquer that. I'm gonna pray about that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys allow God's love to fill your life completely without any hesitation, any boundaries, no limitations we're putting on God, especially in 2020. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you guys haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.